Uh, what's going on? Is this working? I can't tell. Alright, it's working. What's up, everybody? And of course, I can't find what I'm looking for. Ah, here we are. One second. Oh, come on, YouTube. Oh, god damn it. And XSplit didn't seem to auto-detect. Remove add source. Game catcher of Borderlands 2. Hello? Oh, Borderlands 2 is probably not actually showing anything. Alright. Let me check audio. Alright. Let me check audio. Of course, I should probably actually have somebody else watching the stream rather than that way I can just get some feedback, but oh well. Anyway, last time I was streaming, I showed off my skins that I had created. Also, one second, because I don't actually have everything open that I need to have open. Alright, there we go. Whoa. Like spikes. I just hope I don't have any crashes. Anyway, last time I showed off some skins that I was working on, and then I tried to start making a new one. However, it didn't go particularly well as I didn't have XSplit Broadcaster installed, which I do now. That was an absolute hell to get installed properly. I had to completely redo it 17 times. Anyway, this is the skin that I started working on last time I streamed, and it took a bit longer than I thought it would, for several reasons. First one being that, well, I didn't actually get all of the files that I needed to get the first time. There were several that I missed. And also just because some parts of it took a long time to figure out. In particular, oh, I wish I had an image of the normal Sandhawk. Actually, do I have one? I think I might have one. Or I can just Google Sandhawk. Oh, and I just found out that it's actually 2 words. I feel stupid now. Alright, this image is going to have to do. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Alright, so alright. Now where can I add source? Media file. Resource images. Oh dear God. It looks like it pretty much downloaded every image on that entire wiki page. Ah, why is that such low quality? Alright. Media file. Where is it? Here. That's the image I was looking for. Uh, Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. I'll just stick it up over here. Alright, so there is a normal Sandhawk next to my skin. Um, so, and I don't have that image on here. Well then, I'm just going to do it from XSplit. Alright, so over here, if you look at the normal Sandhawk, the emissives for the most part have not changed. Now it is worth noting that the components are a bit different between mine. For example, I've got, I think that's Malawan, uh, whatever it's called. I believe this is either a Malawan or a Hyperion stock, and then a Hyperion site. Whereas this one, I don't know what site that might actually just be the no site. It does actually have the same stock, has a different grip, and it's also this image is slag. And I just found out that actually it doesn't show cursor in the same place. Alright, I guess I'll just have to deal with that. Oh my. This is turning out to be worse than I thought. Anyway, the some of the tweaks I've done include, if Borderlands will load, the barrel is the barrel has custom ornamentation. I have gone in and actually modified pretty much all the textures that define what the barrel looks like, except of course for the 3D model. I don't even know where I would find that. I have obviously made it a gold metallic instead of whatever else it is. And then I changed the pattern from the, oh, I think it's like mud, I want to say. that is the default one, to, actually let me pull up that image. Add source, media file. This one is a lot less of a pain in the ass. So this is the image that I used for the skin. Let's see, what else have I done? I have edited the emissive to have the barrel, the pattern on it, the metallic. Did I find a color? I don't think I actually found a color texture, which is interesting because so far I have found exactly 0 textures that are actually just like color. I've just found the metallic one. Actually, I think that, actually now that I think of it, that must be the color texture. It's different than I thought it was, because yeah, I think that's changed more than just what's metallic. Now that I look closer. Interesting. Um, I'm really happy with the way the barrel turned out. Also, the Captain Scarlet emblem that is here on the Sandhawk. Should be able to see it in the image. The Captain Scarlet emblem is another thing I have changed, and I've changed it from her, I don't know what to call it, cross swords, and I want to say it's a flower, to just one flower that actually uses the same colors. And one of the finishing touches I would like to add to that is to outline it in emissive, because I just think that'd look cool. Although to do that I would have to actually find that exact piece. Also, I'm not sure if the body of the Sandhawk has a different texture than everything else. One thing that I have noticed though is that for most weapons, the it most weapons use like textures that are also on other things. Let's see, this is a dull submachine gun. I wonder if it'll show up on the last go. Oh, it actually did start to show up on the last go, because this barrel is just smooth metal. Whereas, let's see. Let's go find a vending machine.
Haven't found anything good? My weapon machines will fix that for you.
Ooh,
Tell your
don't mind if
friends
I do.
I've always got new stock.
I am still collecting all of the customizations.
Check back.
Surrounded by amateurs over
Uh, Actually, Marcus is probably going to have the exact same stuff I found there.
You can never be too well armed.
Oh, yep, right here. Uh, Interesting. I didn't realize it actually used the same texture. Oh yeah, now that I think of it, I think the Sandhawk is wood, actually. So as you can see, it has that texture. Oh, and then this is what I was looking for. Now, I wasn't positive, but I was pretty sure that it would put the barrel on everything. And it did. Yeah, so does this have anything? What even is that? I don't know if that's the vanilla texture or something else. Let's see, what files do I actually have on this? I think that's actually possibly the vanilla texture now that I look at it. Well, I broke it. Oh, and yeah, just excuse me for a moment. I broke Borderlands 2. Not 100% sure how I even did that, but I have a feeling that it must have had something to do with me, I think it must have had something to do with the third person. Alright, so actually I'm going to load it up vanilla now. With no modified textures. Also no third person actually. Just to show you what it looks like. Oh, and I didn't actually finish showing everything. I can't remember if I showed the site in the previous stream. I think I did. I did get a custom site on it. Although I would love to know actually what file controls the color of the site, because while I have gotten a custom crosshair design, I have not been able to get a custom color because I want it to be red, but it still shows up as orange. Wrong gun. So that's the normal Hyperion site. And it's actually, I'll just show the files actually. So the Hyperion site still remains orange actually, which is not the best. Anyway, I don't know why I hit quit. Probably so that I could reload custom skin. And I'm thinking I might turn this into like a series of Texmod how to edit X part of gun and what everything does, essentially. Now, one thing that I learned that I didn't know from YouTube videos is that actually in Texmod, on the Texmod file, you don't have to use the exact same file names that it saves it as. So you can save as whatever file name you like, and it should work fine, as long as you actually adjust that accordingly in the Texmod text file. So there's just another look at the gun, and this is the site, which the image file is red, and then the game makes it orange for reasons that I do not know. Alright, and now let's just... I wonder... It is a dull submachine gun body. The Lasco is also a dull submachine gun body, but it does have that skin makes it
Gun, gun, gun.
not work out for what I was looking for. Interesting. So it seems that the file that actually controls the skin of the weapon is actually the file that controls all of the wood textures in the game. Because, yeah, these are all Jacob's weapons that are being effective, probably because Jacob's uses wood in their designs a lot.
Here soon.
I'm gonna go check the vending machine.
Why loot the dead when you can buy from me?
What is that? That actually looks really cool with the blade on there. I don't think I've ever actually seen that blade shape before. What is this? That one has that texture. I don't know if that's vanilla or what. This has actually got some wood on it too, but that is a different texture. What's this got? Yeah, anyway.
Always buy guns.
My carrier can't stay here forever.
Alright. Trying to think of how I would get to that. By the way, one thing about editing the Captain Scarlet emblem is that it does have to have the alpha channel saved. Otherwise, it just makes everything except the emblem black. Alright, let's see. What gun do I want to modify? Because I was going to do that. So what I'm doing right now is in Texmod, I'm going to where there are 3 buttons. The one on the left, which is selected by default, is package mode, followed by logging mode and package build. Package build is where you turn it all into a what's it called? It's what you use to turn it into the file that Texmod actually loads. And then on logging mode, that is how you get things. So draw control and texture info. I do want that. You almost always want to have replace texture turned on. I'm not sure if there are any other, I'm not sure if there are any times when you want to have that off. And then I have it set to log with F11 because I don't use that for anything in Borderlands. And then I have it save output format as DDS. Now I'm not sure exactly what DDS is all about, but I do know that it is it's what I have success with. So if it works, then don't change it. So let's see, what gun do I want to modify? That looks cool. And one thing you do want to worry about is crashing. I know for sure that I actually have a limited amount of time in game before my game will simply crash. Which kind of sucks. Also, don't even think about trying to find the gun textures in a menu,
Buy a gun
because
already.
when you're previewing things, it loads
Don't
a
get
lot more
killed.
textures than it actually looks like it's loading. Let's see, I'm at 980, pretty much 1,000 textures loaded. Sorry, now I'm over 10,000 textures loaded. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to modify.
So,
And
what
I'm
now?
99.9% sure that I'm gonna crash before I. Yep, called it, called it, called it. It says ran out of video memory. Exiting. Now I just have to find my mouse. There we go. Hit OK. Um, Unfortunately, this is pretty much just going to happen. Um, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that the reason that it crashes like this is because of the, oh, hey, it's not, why is it not receiving very good video? Huh. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I believe the reason for this is because I'm just guessing, but I think that most likely the way it works is, I'm guessing that most likely the way it works is it essentially has to load the textures twice, once for the game, once for Texmod. Um, Actually, what I'm gonna do is actually just use gibbed save editor and stick in a gun. Open save O2. Um, yeah, this is technically cheating, but it's primarily just because I don't already have something to modify. Let's see, pistols. Actually, I'm going to go for a submachine gun because there is a sight I want to know how it looks when I modify it. Balance. Let's go with rare. So that would be, rare is blue text, I believe. Manufacturer grade. Does that really matter? I'm just going to set it to 1, so it's going to have absolute garbage stats. Game stage is the same, only one body option. Grip, I don't know what the various grips look like off the top of my head. I'm just gonna go with a TDR grip, barrel, Malawan, sight. I'm curious as to the sight for Malawan. Stock would be I'm gonna go with Hyperion. And then elemental, let's see. What colors do I want to make this thing? I'm gonna go with fire. And then I want the bayonet accessory. Only one material option. And that should be it. Save. Um, One thing that I've seen a certain YouTuber do that was that seems like a good idea is rather than having to cycle through 10,000 textures before enough load that the game crashes, you can instead just filter it to only textures that are currently drawn on screen. And this makes it so that, well, for one thing, you don't have to cycle through so many textures. And additionally, oh my gosh, that looks ugly. That is, I don't know why the site looks like that. Alright, so filtered 98. That's actually alright. And then we're pretty much looking for the appearance of the gun changing. So there's the site. That's part of the gun. That. Where's this saving to? 1 second. Alright, the save location is fine. It is worth noting that if you don't rename your files that you have edited and you get the files from the game again and they're put into that same folder, it will overwrite them. And trust me, it sucks, especially considering how long it can take to edit certain files. Particularly, the particular example that comes to mind is removing all of the rust from Gage's robotic arm. Oh, that's Gage's hand. Woo! And that's back to where we were before. Alright, so now we pop out. And I'm actually going to go in to my folders. Alright, make a new folder that is uh, on-stream Malone SMG, because that's what I'm calling it. Files. Alright, so there's this. I'm just grabbing the files involved. Control C and paste. Alright, and then now that we're done with that, open up stuff in Photoshop. Five, 6, 7, 8. Alright, and then I also have to go into my sources and add source. That's not what I wanted. Add source. This. That is not what I want. I want Photoshop. Alright, there we go. So, here we are. Now, let's just have a look at what we've got here. Alright, so our first file is, I believe this is like a color map. So this essentially tells the game where to use what color. I'm not sure what the blue tells it to do, but the red and the green tell it where to use certain colors. This is one that I did have to edit for Actually, I had to edit, I think. Alright, this one is the site. Sorry, that's the image on the site. This is, what is this? So that's red. That's the green. And that's the blue. So I think what we're interested in is the red. And that would be the pattern on it. This right here. This is the gun, essentially. If you want to make it, all one color, just make this file one color and save, and you're done. This is this is like uh, the hologram projector thing. I don't know how to describe it. This, well, I don't actually know what that is. I'm not sure. And this is the normal map. The normal map is something that you generally don't want to mess with. It's the red and the green layers they essentially make up something that I think is very clever in that it's a flat image, but when you put it onto a 3D model, it mimics the way light reflects to make it look a lot more 3D than it actually is. In fact, this image itself kind of looks 3D already, which is cool. And this is, if you put this on a low poly model, it suddenly starts looking like it's a lot more detailed. And that is the red and the green layers. The blue layer is emissives. Actually, on the Bloodflower Sandhawk, so this is this is the barrel, and first thing that I knew I wanted to do was change the emissive to that pattern, and then as I was doing that, I realized that also if I was changing those dots, then I also had to flatten out those so that it would actually have the right shape. And I could do more detail on it, like I could have applied that shape to the red and green as well to make it have a bit more detail so that it would be more like the original, but honestly, I'm actually really happy with the way it came out already, and I don't really see any reason to mess with it. So this, the normal map, I'm actually going to hit save as. Normal and emissive maps. Save. Wait for it to save. Alright, so that is saved. I have no idea what that is. Actually, I think I know what this is. I think this is like reflections or brightness for something. And I believe it's global. I say that and I'm not sure, but that's what it kind of looks like. This is like the actual projection. This is the color. Melon SMG color. Save. I don't know how far behind the stream is. Um, so this is the pattern. Uh, hexagon pattern. I'm not sure if it's showing the save as dialog boxes. Alright, it is not. This is the site pattern. And I'm just doing save as of everything with names now. File, save as. Site projection, I guess. I'm just going to call it that. This is this file. I was actually waiting till I had looked at everything else to talk about it. And real quick, I'm just going to save this as RGB map. Red, green, blue map, because it's red, green, blue, and it's a color map, essentially. Wait for that to save. And then this thing, I'm not quite sure what to call it. Actually, I know exactly what I'm going to call it. I should have made these all like lowercase or something. All lowercase or all with some uniform way of capitalization and spacing in the names, but oh well, too late now. Wait for that to save. Saving. This is by far the texture that consistently takes the longest to save. There we go. And also, now that I think of it, I probably should have screenshotted the base texture before I did this. All right, so this file is essentially like it is an absolute ton of textures. Now, what I was working with on now earlier, I was just working with the green layer, specifically modifying the barrels there. All right, but so looking at all colors at once, it's just a mess. That like I would look at that, and when I first saw that, I just thought, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? However, actually, as I just showed, if you single out one color channel to show just that color, then you can actually see that it is a whole bunch of textures all put together. So there is a bayonet texture. I'm not sure if that is the bayonet texture. I'm thinking I might actually want to modify the bayonet texture. Let's see, is there one here? I don't see one. This one. I don't see one here either. And on blue, there's one here. Is there another one? I don't see any. Alright, so I'm just going to assume that this is the bayonet texture that we have on the gun. I really should have screenshotted it though. Alright, and then on the RGB map, I think I already explained this sufficiently. So first thing we're gonna edit. First thing that I always edit is the sight pattern, and I'm just trying to think of what do I want to make it. What do I want the theme on this one to be? I'm not actually sure. Could go for like a Moxie gun sort of thing, although I'd rather do that on an actual Moxie gun. Well, I'm just going to go over to Google. Ooh, that looks cool. Cool gun textures. And what do I get? A bunch of garbage. I'm like, what I'm looking at on screen right now, it's like, some of it's like, it's not bad, but it's not like interesting really. Let's see, actually I have an idea. I'm not sure if it's going to actually work though. I'm going to, and I should probably also at some point actually set up some colors that I frequently use. I'm actually going to go for a... Oh, first things first. You almost always want to start with a black background. So I'm just going to start with a black background. And then custom shape. Let's see. I'm thinking of like a red hot kind of fire-ish design. Let's see if there's anything in here that has what I'm looking for. That's what I used for the emblem, and that's what I used for the barrel emissives on the Sandhawk skin, and that's what I used for the crosshair. Uh, hmm. Let's see. I'm not really sure that I actually like the look of that flame either. Uh, this is what I used for the Lascaux design, and I just got that off the internet. And actually, I'm just going to go to the internet and Photoshop fire shapes. What is this? I don't want fire shape brushes. Shapes for Photoshop. That's probably a decent site. Sorry, I'm just quickly cleaning up a little bit of stuff. No, that's not what I want. Brushes, PNG, pictures. I don't want that. Fire shapes, please. What is this? Man, I found the gears ones almost instantly. This is not what I want. What is this? Download. Show in folder. Copy. Oh, brilliant. Where is it? Presets. Custom shapes. Where even does it show up? I'm sorry that it's taking so long. Load shapes. Oh, probably just Photoshop shapes. Paste. Alright, so I just found those. Search fire. How about flame? Ooh, what are these? Nope. Well, I'm just gonna try it out. No? What? Here. Um, yeah. And by the way, one reason that I'm kind of doing this without preparing more, because honestly, normally under these kind of circumstances, I would actually do a bit more preparation. Um, One reason is just because a lot of the things I see on YouTube for these kinds of things, it's like just the highlights of it and not like the actual work part. And somewhere there is a Photoshop folder. Somewhere, uh, nope, and nope. Did I install it here? No. Where is Photoshop? Oh. Uh, this is irritating. Sure. Let's just, you know what? I'm actually just going to go over to my downloads and 7-zip, extract here. Because I feel like that's just going to be way, way faster. Copy. Presets. Where's custom shapes? Custom shapes, Photoshop shapes. Paste. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. Load. Flames and bursts. Ooh. I do like that one. Now this is not the biggest design ever though, so show grid. Alright. Custom shape. No stroke. And zoom in a bit more. Alright, now starting. Oh. It still has these settings. Oh, and also apparently it's not a square. Well, just unconstrained. There we go. Also, I'm feeling just a little adventurous. So I'm going to actually come in here and actually flatten the image. Circle. Ooh. I don't know exactly where it needs to be though. I'm gonna go from here to here. No? Doesn't like that? Oh, and it doesn't. Oh. Well. Um. Ooh, also. Actually, I'm gonna make this shape with white stroke and no fill. And make that alright. And then I think so it's from nope. I take it back. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to save this in the interest of time. Alright, so let's just say site pattern is done. Hexagon pattern is going to be interesting. So I'm going to select just the red channel. And make the red channel and only the red channel, and you do that by just clicking on just the red channel so that only it is highlighted, completely blank. And then set that to grayscale sliders. Let's see, what kind of design do I want to have on here? I do want custom shape. I do want fire. Hmm. Oh, this is a 512 by 512. Well then, define proportions. Turn that down just a little bit. I have an idea. If I set it to anything other than pixels, then it does unfortunately transfer over to every other channel, which kind of sucks. However, oh hey, I'm not keeping an eye on the live chat. Not that anybody's in it. Um, hmm, let's see. have an idea. Hmm. Actually, this is what I want. Don't want it to move like that, but I want it to, essentially what I'm trying to do is have it so that this continues on the next one over here, because it's essentially just a whole bunch of them lined up. What's this do? Alright, nope. How do I just get a freeform selection? Select. Once more, I don't want to change the height, but I want it to be on the edge. There we go. File, save, save. And And then shape 13 also, because it's bugging me, I'm going to deselect. And then do the same thing for this one. Except this time, oopsies, need to select the move tool. This time down 44 pixels. And down 44 pixels. File, save. And feel like just adding in one more. How about this one? And I'm gonna go with that. Alright, sight pattern is done. Hexagon pattern is done. Aha, the colors. Oh, that could be interesting. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do it. How I want it colored. The sight projection, I don't see any reason to change it. I say as I immediately come up with some ideas. Alright, this may or may not work. Flatten. And that's just so that it appears as a background and I'm not messing around with anything else. Um, channels. Alright. Let's see. Are there any that are like less? I feel like this one is slightly overdone. Well, I guess I'm going with it. Also, I'm going to just have a peek at this. Properties. There's another way to do it that is going to be less painful. Alright, so it's about like that. It goes up pretty much to the top of the image. And at the bottom it's about that wide. So show the grid. And so that's I have my idea of how I want this. That didn't work. Zoom out a bit. Oh, fill should be this. Stroke should be, let's say actually something even less noticeable. Oh, this is a 256 by 256. Sweet. Alright, it defaults to 1. Um, hmm. Oh, oh well. I think that'll probably work. Although I wonder. I really shouldn't. Alright, gonna save that. No idea what that is. I don't think I really need to do, actually I do want a custom barrel. But that's going to at least wait a little bit. Actually, that's been saved, that's been saved, that's been saved, that's been saved, that's been saved. Oh, this. Yes, this. I wonder if I might find an option for coloring Malawon sites here. Oh, what do we have here? Blue is like, hmm. It's not doing anything. Why is it not doing anything? Oh, opacity. That's it. There we go. And file, save. Now, one reason for the save as, though, is because if you do a save as instead of just overwriting it, then, well, you have all of the you have all of the original textures for one thing, which is nice. Well, that's just great. It's not showing the previews. Let's see, view, tiles, content. All right, so let me make this show up in XSplit. Add source. Alright, so here we are. This is... Now, if you didn't have anything else already done in the folder, then it would probably already have like a whole bunch of these lines. However, since I've been using the same folder to dump all of the images, actually this is the path for the only PNG image I have, which is actually the gear site. But actually this is Borderlands 2 modding on stream Malwan SMG backslash. Alright, so this is the original file name. And that is essentially the number attached to the file. So what I do is I go in to File Manager, I copy the file name, File Explorer, paste the name, and then all you want is the 0x, whatever that says. And because that is the original file name. And the way Texmod works, I should have explained this earlier, but the way Texmod works is it essentially says to the game, don't load these textures, load these ones instead. So this is telling the game what texture not to load. And then this is the file path to the texture it should load instead. Alright, so that is the RGB map. And then here's an important part, .dds, and that's how I knew exactly what the other one was, is because it's the only one I saved as a PNG. So it's pretty much the same for all of them. And then I'm actually going to start putting things in just a little faster. Gray texture map .dds. And then this next one is the site. And this is site pattern.dds. What is this one? This is, oh, that's the hexagon pattern. Slash hexagon pattern.dds. This one is the color. This is Maliwan SMG color.dds. This one is the this is the site projection.dds. And then this one is the unknown object. So I'm actually not going to change it, but I am going to make sure that it is in here. This is the normal and emissives. Slash normal and emissive maps.dds. And then, alright, so there's normal and emissive. I already did gray texture map. Oh, and then I'm done with the original files. And then I'm just going to hit save. And I'm also actually going to show the Texmod. Alright, so over here, this is what it starts out as. Package build, I do need to change this to BL2 modding on stream Maliwan SMG open. So that it just has to be the Texmod text file. And then hit build. And I just need to make a new folder. So this is on stream Maliwan Flame SMG V1. For almost all of mine, oh shoot, it only says one texture added. Save. Alright, that just means I need to build it. Wait, never mind, never mind. I made a mistake. Alright, so on this notepad, right here, I forgot I was going to copy and paste. Because that is very important. There we go, now save. And now build. to save, and then you go over to package mode, and it should actually just show up as your most recent. Hit run. What is going on? Something happened. Alright, my screen is frozen. Both my screens are frozen. Now I want to watch the intro. Alright, the stream is probably gonna die right now, but... Right then. Interesting, my laptop's not responding to absolutely anything. Well then.